What is up, YouTube? Crankshaft here, on the way to work right now, and finally decided to start learning how to wheelie again. Still a little rusty, but I mean, when you've been off your bike for 3 months and you'd only been really learning to wheelie for a month before then, it can be kind of difficult to get back into the groove of things. I made a few modifications to the bike since the last video that you guys saw. One being, you know, putting the front end back together and making it rideable again. Those of you that follow me on Instagram have seen what the bike looks like now. I'm pretty happy with the results. I, of course, was much happier before the accident, but it's rideable and all is going fairly well. My headlight bracket broke because I came down from a wheelie pretty hard, and the left one, the screw actually snapped that was holding it on. But that's a cheap Chinese headlight for you. So I got a better one in the mail, better bucket, better mounts, and my buddy Sticker Bomb over in Athens at Bedlam Works is going to help me get a bracket machined that's actually going to be custom and let me put my headlight exactly where I want it to be. The one that's here is kind of like tension based. It's not actually shaped the right way for the forks, and the forks are like 43 millimeters, I want to say, and these aren't supposed to be on anything bigger than 40 millimeters, so I had to really like torque it down to get it to really work properly. So I should have expected something would break, but you know, the headlight was 30 bucks off of eBay, so I'm not gonna really feel too bad about that. So that, aside from some minor electrical issues, it's going pretty well. Bike still power wheelies. Now it has the, now that I've done the whole sprocket adjustment, if I accelerate really, you know, at all in first, it just right up. So that's pretty fun. Good old sprocket change. Oh man, what are you doing? What are you about? Still trying to get better at second gear. First gear I can really pop it up nice and high. My biggest struggle, I guess, is continuing after I bring it up. The longest wheelie I've actually successfully done is like, I don't know, maybe a second and a half. If I'm lucky, I can pull that out. But, Also, those of you know that I work at a certain motorcycle parts, gear, and apparel store. And I feel very adamantly about helmets being one-time use only. So I did get myself a new helmet. And it's the AGV K3 SV. Not quite as safe of a helmet, you could say, as the one I had before, the CL17. It's not Snell braided, but it's lighter weight, a lot more comfortable. This one actually fits me. The other one was actually slightly large on my head, so I have the right size helmet now, which is good. Still experimenting with the GoPro position. If you see the helmet, I actually have a, it's got a really sharp point to the chin. So I've got the Motonosity mount going on where you combine several different pieces, sort of just arm its way out around the helmet. So it's slightly off-center, but I don't necessarily mind that. I preferred the other one where it was perfectly in the center, but I much prefer the aerodynamics and comfort of this helmet over the CL17, so Still wearing the same jacket because it's holding up just fine. It's leather for you. You can beat the shit out of leather and it'll still be mostly fine. In this case, no stitching came out. There's some very minor scuffing along the back and along the shoulder. I was surprised at how well it actually turned out, but after talking to a couple other people, it's turned out like leather. It's really, really hard to actually damage leathers. So, a lot of you guys know the story of the accident, a lot of you don't. Is that a fucking wolf? Holy shit! That dog was huge! Jesus Christ! So, sorry. A lot a lot of you guys know the story of the accident. A lot of you don't know the story of the accident. So I'm just going to assume, wow, this person's going 50 miles an hour. I'm just going to go ahead and assume you don't and tell the story. It's a very long story in the way that I've told it before, so I'm going to kind of oversimplify it. But essentially, I was on this road right here, this very road, and I was in a passing zone, and I was going to go and pass somebody, but you know, like this was, you know, dotted on this side, solid on that side for the middle line, and you just kind of zip around them. I was going to do that, and I made the stupid decision of passing like 4 cars at once. Horrible idea. At the front of the bunch, a car, or a big truck actually swung left into a driveway, and I basically plowed right into them. I had plenty of time to slow down. I just fucked up because since my old front brake rotors are warped, I'm used to not really heavily using the front brake, which is horrible. You should that's 70% of your braking power right there. So I got a little hard on the rear brake and slightly on the front brake. The rear wheel started to skid. Let off the rear brake, got harder on the front brake. I was too late at that point, and I smashed into it, and my bike hit and then went this way and flipped, and then I flew out and ended up on the road 20 or so feet down. I think I was going 30 or 40 when I impacted the truck, and the way I ended up hitting was basically just catapulted me over the bed. I'm kind of glad I'm glad I cleared the bed, because I can't imagine. Glad I cleared the bed, because I can't really imagine how awful it would be if I had like gone partially into the bed and smashed my head against the inside of it or something like that. Yeah, that would be uncomfortable. But I tore my rotator cuff in 2 places. I blew out my left knee. I had a sprained ankle, my left ankle, and somehow got a fucking hole like this big in my leg, like cleared the bone. No clue what caused it. I'm guessing like a peg or something. Maybe like this little fucker down here. I don't know. But something stabbed. Actually, you know what? I bet it was that little fucker. Little fuckery that the fairing attaches to. My leg probably just smashed through the fairing. But regardless, something punctured my leg. Other than that, it was mostly just scrapes and cuts. Nothing broken, thank God. I was basically walking again after 5 or 6 days with a cane, but walking. And I got one of those canes that you could like fold and collapse. And it was really surprising when I came into work, because I don't remember if it was the first day or maybe a couple days into my first couple days back to work, but I had my cane folded up in my backpack, and I came up and parked my bike and then hopped off, well not hopped off, but hobbled off my bike and then I open up my backpack and pull out this cane and then shake it, and it snaps into place, and hobble my way into work. A good time for a while there. As far as insurance goes, I didn't see them, they didn't see me. I was passing, they weren't, so it was written up as my fault. I get that, I can take it. But I'm 99% sure they didn't use a turn signal. Because if they had, normally when I'm about to pass in front of people, I'll ride as close to the yellow line as I can and look down the row. And one, I'll be looking for cars in the oncoming lane. I'll also be looking for shit like that, where everyone's slowing down because someone's like about to turn into a driveway or something. And I didn't see any turn signals. So I'm assuming as I was passing, they just hit their brakes lightly and then swung into the driveway. So, you know, who's to say whose fault it really was? It was mine. But, you know, who's to say? It was mine. And I'll own up to it. Like, it was fucking stupid of me. I paid for it, though. I definitely paid for it, because my full coverage on this bike didn't kick in until 2 weeks after the accident. I'd already paid in full for the year, and I just didn't feel like tacking that onto the current policy and paying the difference. I was like, I'll just wait 2 weeks. I don't have to pay the extra like $60 to attach it to this policy. That was stupid. It was worth it. Just full coverage, please. If your bike is in pristine shape, just put full coverage on it. It will save you the heartache of having to rebuild some sort of Franken bike. But I mean, I'm happy. I'm content with the way that the bike is now. Even though the headlight bracket broke and I attached it back together with yeah, even though the headlight broke and I attached it back together with a bungee cord last night, I'm still pretty happy with the way it is. Ooh, there's another bike over there. Well, it's a sport bike and it's not broken. How nice. Anyway, guys, I think that's everything I have to address. Oh, Motovlogger meetup May 28th at Cycle Gear in Lawrenceville. Be there. Or don't. I mean, it's okay if you can't make it, but it'd be really cool if you could be there. Yeah. I'll be there. I'll be working, but I'll be there. Hopefully I'm going to be able to get off for the ride. I'm trying to get off for the pre-meet. We'll see about that. So, you guys are great, and I will see you in the next one.